This presented hoarseness of voice and swelling in the neck. And you can able to appreciate there is a mass T1 weighted low signal. You may ask essential or preventive space, how to narrow fat in space. Look for this flow wide, this is internal carotid artery. How these two structures are displaced, you can narrow down the diagnosis in most of the places. In this patient, you can see the anterior disc parapharyngeal fat train, and you can see the internal carotid artery ICA is also pushed anteriorly. So it should be from the carotid space, so the lesion is from the carotid space. And what is the manifestation? It is low signal in T1 and mixed signal in T2FS and heterogeneously enhancing with contrast, no intralesional flow voids, and you can see the IC is pushed anteriorly and it is the epicenter is going, so I can see the epicenter is coming to the jugular fossa. So I can able to beautifully appreciate the moderately enhancing lesion, not much flow wide, displacing the ICA and the parapharyngeal fat train anteriorly. It is a carotid space lesion. You can see the not much flow wides. You can see the anterior displacement of ICA. That means it is carotid space neoplasm. So what is the strong differential coarseness of voice? If you are seeing the carotid space vein, and these are the you can able to appreciate the nerves, 9th on the lateral aspect, 12th on the medial aspect, and 10th and 11th on the posterior aspect. So the 10th nerve pushing anteriorly, so it is a tumor from vagus nerve, it is a schwannoma from vagus. The differential diagnosis, glomus vagali or they will have extensive flow wides, they will have aggressive nature, and it is not of much flow wides, not much enhancing or avid enhancement is not there. So the strong diagnosis in this patient is schwannoma from vagus nerve. Sometimes the lesion may not obey the space anatomy. It may go to the multiple spaces, especially infection or if the fascia is not formed. In this patient, there is a lesion in multiple compartments. You can see the submandibular space, you can see the sublingual space, you can see the masticator space is involved, and there is a destruction of the mandible is there. So it is skull base osteomyelite is extending into the rest of the compartments. So it is multiple space. So infection, it is root abscess, mandible osteomyelite is extending into the masticator, submandibular spaces. All these spaces are involved. If the fascia is not formed, this is young child, multiple phases, hemorrhage fluid level, it is venolymphatic malformation with hemorrhage. So it may go to the multiple spaces. So these are the two conditions where it will go to the multiple spaces also. How this fat neck spaces is differentiated? Going back to the anatomy in 1800s, it is the cervical fascia. Cervical fascia is basically divided into deep as well as the superficial cervical fascia. Deep cervical fascia is further divided into superficial, middle and deep layers. And the superficial layer is marked as yellow. If you are carefully seeing the masticator space and the parotid space, they are fully encircled by superficial layer of deep cervical fascia. The purple color is middle layer, and you can see the purple color over here which is encircles the visceral space. You can see that it is visceral space which is encircled by the middle layer. It is the middle layer of deep cervical fascia. The deep layer is green color. You can see the encircling the vertebra, and its structures are totally encircling. So the deep layer encircles the vertebra related structures, and the carotid space is formed by all three layers. So it is simplified now. So we have to carefully look for cervical facial anatomy to look into this. And every space will have some nerve as well as foramina. If you are taking the masticator space, it is the foramen ovale and mandibular division of the fifth nerve. If you are taking parotid space, it is stylomastoid foramen and facial nerve. If you are taking carotid space, it is jugular foramen, 9th, 10th, 11th cranial nerve. If you are taking mucosal space, it is foramen lacidum and ICA. So every space is related with some foramen and some form of neural element will be there. So the infection of skull base can go to the intracranial compartments also. And every space we can able to appreciate nicely by seeing the anatomy. If you are taking masticator space, you can see the masticator space is formed by three important elements. It is the muscle, it is masseter temporalis, medial and the lateral pterygoid muscles and the mandible, and we can able to see the mandible. So three elements will come in masticator space. In parotid, you can able to appreciate the parotid gland as well as the retromandibular vein, and you can see the external carotid artery and the facial nerve. So these are the structures. And if you are seeing the carotid space, we can able to appreciate the artery, vein as well as the cranial nerves will be there. And the vertebra, perivertebral space, everything will come in perivertebral space. And the mucosal space, you can see the visceral fascia and visceral mucosal space will come over here. Between this, you will have two more. One is retropharyngeal, other one is the danger space will be there. So this is a simplified approach. We can able to appreciate all these things. And this middle layer, you can see the classical appearance middle layer. And middle layer, as I told already, it is called as visceral fascia. Sometimes they will call it as pharyngobasilar fascia. Different names. And this is visceral face means anything anterior to it is called as visceral space. So visceral fascia, anterior to it is called as visceral space. If it is nasopharynx, it is called as nasopharyngeal visceral space. If it is oropharynx, it is oropharyngeal. If it is hypopharynx, it is hypopharyngeal. Between these visceral fascia, there is one more fascia will come. This is called as alar fascia. And between this visceral fascia and alar fascia, the important compartment is retropharyngeal space. So anything behind pharynx, it is retropharyngeal space. And between this alar fascia and the prevertebral fascia, what you are dealing is the danger space. Why these spaces are very important? Because this alar fascia ends between D2 to D6. So infection of the skull base can go to the mediastinum. So retropharyngeal space can go to the mediastinum. Between D2 to D6 it ends. But the danger space between alar fascia to the prevertebral space can go to the peritoneum, into the abdominal cavity and into the pelvis also. It is the simplified anatomy. You can able to see. We will start with parapharyngeal space. Parapharyngeal space is filled with the fat as well as the pterygoid venous plexuses, and it will be seen as fat-filled structure. You can see the developed bright bilateral symmetrical, which will give very good anatomy by seeing where the tumor is originating from. If you are carefully seeing, the pharyngeal mucosal space will push it along the lateral aspect. If the parotid means which will push along the middle aspect. If it is coming from masticator space, which will push the fat posteriorly. If it is coming from carotid, which will push it anteriorly. If it is coming from retropharyngeal or it is coming from other this prevertebral, it will push anteromedially. So please carefully look for this bright signal structure, which will narrow down the diagnosis. You can see the tubular structure coming in the funnel, and it will communicate with the submandibular space. Now, what I told already, we can able to appreciate. This fat is pushed laterally. That means the tumor is from pharyngeal mucosal space. And this is classical appearance of pharyngeal mucosal space tumor pushing the parapharyngeal fat veins laterally. And in this patient, you can appreciate this fat vein is pushed medially. That means it is coming from parotid. You can see the deep lobe of parotid, the tumor is coming, pushing the fat vein along the medial aspect. You can able to appreciate. Here the widening of the stylomandibular notch is also seen. Another sign to say strongly the tumor is from parotid space. And here the fat vein is pushed posteriorly. The tumor is coming from masticator space, from the masticator muscle, pushing the fat vein and ICA posteriorly. That means the classical appearance of the tumor from masticator space. Here the fat is pushed anteriorly. Along with the ICA, the fat is pushed anteriorly. That means the tumor is coming from carotid space. Here you can able to appreciate the fat is pushed anterolaterally. That means it is from posterior structures. Here the tumor is, it is the abscess from the retropharyngeal lymph node. It is operative abscess pushing the fat anterolaterally. And it is the prevertebral abscess. You can see the osteomyelitis. So the fat is pushed along the anterolateral. So please carefully look this fat. It will give the diagnosis where it is coming from. It is one thing you should. Sometimes the direct involvement here is the tonsillar tumor infiltrating the parapharyngeal space. So we have completed the parapharyngeal fat, which will give exact anatomy where the lesion is originating from by seeing this, by seeing the displacement also. Coming to the pharyngeal mucosal space, which already I have dealt, this is the purple line. This purple line is called as middle layer, otherwise called as the visceral fascia. You can able to appreciate, otherwise called as pharyngobasilar fascia. There is a defect on the lateral aspect. It is called as foramen magnani. Through the foramen magnani, the eustachian tube is coming and opening into the lateral. You can see the typical appearance where the eustachian tube opening, and this is the cartilaginous portion of the eustachian tube, so called thorax tubarius, and this is the lateral pharyngeal recess or fossa of Rosenmuller and levator and tensor veli palatini muscles. Anything anterior to the visceral fascia is called as visceral space. So I told if it is in nasopharynx, nasopharyngeal visceral space. If it is in oropharynx, it is oropharyngeal. If it is in hypopharynx, hypopharyngeal mucosal space. The anatomy is mucosa, constrictor muscles, lymphoid tissue, minor salivary gland tumors, and fascia. And the tumor, commonest tumor here is the tumor squamous cell carcinoma. Waldeyer ring, so lymphoma can also come. Minor salivary rest may be there, so minor salivary gland also come, and a Thornwald cyst. This is benign hypertrophy of the nasopharyngeal lymphoid tissue. There is no displacement of normal structures, and you can see the significant proliferation. This is the normal variant, it is the adenoid hypertrophy. This is not nasopharyngeal neoplasm. And the Thornwald cyst will be seen at the median nasopharyngeal cleft. This is nothing but mucous retention cyst that will be also coming in mucosal. And the minor salivary gland tumor, you can able to nicely appreciate there is a heterogeneous mixed signal structure. It is minor salivary rest producing tumor from the mucosal space of nasopharynx. Squamous cell carcinoma is the commonest nasopharyngeal tumor. You can see there is a mixed signal structure, proliferative structure. Fossa of Rosenmuller is infiltrated. You can able to appreciate the jugulodigastric lymph node. Same appearance will be there in T2. You can see the tumor is also having the appearance, as well as the lymph node is also having same appearance. This is classical appearance of nasopharyngeal carcinoma, the commonest malignancy of nasopharyngeal mucosal space. Sometimes the tumor may be very aggressive, which can go to the adjacent spaces also. Infratemporal fossa, parapharyngeal, all these compartments will be also involved. And a direct involvement of the pharyngeal, you can see the tonsillar malignancy infiltrating this oropharyngeal mucosal space. So this is a commonest condition is nasopharyngeal tumor, in the benign adenoid hypertrophy, and the lymphomas also will come. Here Waldeyer's ring is also there. The nasopharynx is having Waldeyer's, so you will have lymphoma also. You can see the huge involvement of the nasopharyngeal mucosal space, multiple lymph nodes, the rest of the places also. You should think of lymphoma from this side also. Now we have completed nasopharyngeal mucosal space. Coming to the masticator space. Masticator space, there are three important content. One is muscle, other one is, you can see the muscle, there is the mesenteric muscle, temporalis, and pterygoid muscles, and the mandible. So bone, muscle, as well as the neural element is the V3 division, that is mandibular division of the fifth nerve, and it is totally encircled by a superficial layer of the deep cervical fascia. Now individually we will see the spaces. This space is having two components. Above the zygoma, which is called as a suprazygomatic, below the zygoma, which is called as infrazygomatic component. It can involve above as well as below the. So the temporalis muscle is going up to the mid segment of the skull wall. So large. You can able to appreciate the masticator space. You can see it is going up to the mid segment of. So it is a suprazygomatic component of the masticator space is involved because of the squamous temporal bone osteomyelitis abscess extending into the temporalis muscle. Infrazygomatic abscess, you can see the lower portion of the mandible in a child presenting with abscess extending into the mesenteric muscle. This is typical appearance of infrazygomatic masticator space abscess. And bony tumors can come. Here ameloblastoma of the mandible presenting as tumor of the masticator space. Osteosarcoma of the mandible presenting as masticator space lesions. And coming to the muscle, rhabdomyoid. Embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma is the commonest tumor in this side. Malignant tumor coming from masticator muscle, pushing the fat brain posteriorly, infiltrating the parapharyngeal fat brains also. The typical appearance of embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma from masticator space. Benign hypertrophy also can occur. You can see the giant hypertrophy of the mesenteric muscle. This boy was continuously chewing the bubble gum on one side. This classical appearance of mesenteric hypertrophy. And tumor can also spread along the mandibular division. You can see the adenoid cystic carcinoma spreading along the mandibular division. So V3 spread. So we have seen the tumor coming from muscles. We have seen tumors of the mandible and perineural spread. So these are the three important structures whenever you are suspecting myasthenic attacks, suprazygomatic as well as infrazygomatic. Coming to parotid space. Parotid, the contents are mainly the salivary gland, parotid salivary gland, and retromandibular vein, and external carotid artery, and the facial nerve. How we have to see all these structures? Please carefully look for this mandible. Anything behind the mandible, retromandibular vein, this is simplified anatomy, retromandibular vein behind the mandible. And the facial nerve will be seen as low signal structure. You can see the facial nerve will traverse through the low signal structure. Anything deep, which is called as deep lobe of parotid. Anything lateral, it is called as superficial lobe of parotid gland. And always look for lymph nodes also. Parotid lymph nodes are situated in 4 places. One is adjacent to tragus, and the other one along the facial nerve. You can see the tiny bright signal areas along the facial nerve, and you can see the subcapsular location and adjacent to the tail of parotid. So these are the 4 locations parotid lymph nodes are situated. And these are the contents: parotid gland, facial nerve, ECA, and the retromandibular vein. What are the conditions can occur? This patient presented with the parotid swelling, and every time when he is eating, it is increasing in size. There is a parotid duct calculus with acute obstructive silodinitis. And this patient, Jarvan syndrome, presenting with bilateral recurrent chronic parotitis. This is another patient with the separating parotids on both sides. You can see the dilated duct and ductules right more than left. And whenever you are seeing cystic lesion in the region of parotid, it is the type 1 bronchial club cyst that we should think over. Lipoma also can occur in parotid space. This is classical appearance of lipoma in parotid space. And child hemangiomas are very common in this location. Entire parotid gland is replaced by hemangioma. Pleomorphic adenoma is the commonest benign tumor. Well-defined bright signals and mixed signal pattern, involvement of deep as well as superficial lobe, widening of the stylomandibular notch is very classical appearance of benign pleomorphic adenoma. And Warthin tumor, it is smokers, younger individual, bilateral lesions, and having cystic degeneration or necrotic areas. This is very classical appearance of Warthin. It is otherwise called as cystadenoma lymphomatosum. That's why it is obeyed like lymph node. It will be seen in subcapsular location, tail of parotid, smokers. It is very common. It should be differentiated from lymphoepithelial cysts. Lymphoepithelial cysts of HIV are well-defined, thin-walled, no solid component. The Warthin will have marginal solid component. It is in the subcapsular location, bilateral smokers. These are very characteristic features of the Warthin. And whenever, if you are seeing tumor with the destructive elements, here is the tumor, mandible is destroyed, lymph nodes are coming, and the patient is also presenting with the seizures, intracranial deposits. It is a proved case of mucoepidermoid carcinoma of the parotid gland. You can see the bony destruction also. And tumor can spread. It is adenoid cystic carcinoma of the parotid. It is the perineural spread also. It is the adenoid cystic carcinoma of the parotid with the perineural spread. Lymphoma also can occur. I told 4 places intraparotid lymph node can occur. One is adjacent to utrigus, along the facial nerve, and in the tail of pancreas and subcapsular location. These are the 4 sites. You can see the entire parotid is replaced by lymphomatous tissue of lymph nodal enlargement. And coming to carotid space. Carotid space, important structure ICA. You can see the jugular vein and multiple tiny flow whites. These are all nerves. You can see that along the lateral aspect, it is the 9th and it is the 12th, and posteriorly 9th and 10th and 11th will come. So this is how to be able to simplify this. You should look for the well-defined lesion, T1 weighted low signal and T2 weighted mixed signal extending into the intracanalicular component. ICA is pushed anteriorly, but not much flow whites and heterogeneous enhancement. And glomus jugulare, it is from superior cervical chain involvement. You can able to appreciate the multiple brilliant, you can see the hyperintense signals with the flow white, salt and pepper appearance, and brilliant enhancement after contrast. This is one important feature, and it may go to the tympanic. You can see the tympanic area involvement. You can see the glomus jugular, go to the glomus jugular. So this is one important tumor. If you are doing angio, you can able to appreciate the multiple vessels within it. This is very classical appearance of glomus jugular or glomus jugular. How to differentiate glomus jugular from one important point, always look for the gap. There will be a 2 centimeter gap from the skull base. That means it is originating from ganglion nodosum, that is glomus vagal. So this is typical appearance. Avidly enhancing lesions 2 centimeters from the skull base. It is not from skull base. It is 2 centimeters away from skull base. Shaped hematoma. You can see the intimal dissection of the hematoma along the margin, and you can see the MR angio beautifully demonstrating the intimal flap with the flame-shaped nerve in classical appearance of ICA dissection. IJV thrombus also can occur within the carotid space. You can see the IJV thrombus on left side. You can see the typical appearance over here. So these are the things. Coming to retropharyngeal space. Retropharyngeal space, which I already told, please carefully look behind the pharynx. This is the middle layer. What you are seeing is the middle layer, otherwise called as visceral fascia. The next fascia is called as alar fascia. Between this visceral fascia and alar fascia, what you are dealing is the retropharyngeal. So anything behind the pharynx, retropharyngeal. It is content is only fat as well as lymph node. And behind the alar fascia to perivertebral fascia, what you are dealing is the danger space. Alar fascia will end at D2 to D6. So the retropharyngeal phase will end at D2 to D6. So the mediastinum it can go. But the danger space can go into the retroperitoneum as well as pelvis. The contents are fat and lymph node. Classical median raphe. This patient, you can see the surgical emphysema beautifully differentiating the retropharyngeal space, and you can see the suppurative lymph node from the retropharyngeal space. You can see the diffusion restricting classical appearance. And whenever you are reporting suppurative lymph node, please mention about the position of ICA. You can see the kissing carotids. So the surgeon has to open. He has to know the anatomy. This is the one point. Always please tell the position of ICA whenever you are reporting retropharyngeal lymph node or abscess. This is very important to the patient. You can see classically the retropharyngeal space abscess will end between D2 to D6. This is typical appearance. You can see the retropharyngeal space abscess. The last one is perivertebral. We know that deep layer is it's green color. Anything encircling the vertebra is called as perivertebral space. Anteriorly anterior perivertebral, posteriorly the paraspinal space. You can see the classical appearance of a part spine from C1, C2. It is the region of a perivertebral space. This is another interesting case. This patient presented with a severe headache. When we are giving contrast, the epidural venous plexus was significantly enhancing. You can see the dragged curtain appearance. You can see the epidural venous plexus is significantly increased. You can see the tonsillar herniation, and you can see the slumped brainstem. So immediately we should go for brain. You can see the leptomeningeal enhancement and subdural hygroma is coming. It is idiopathic intracranial hypotension responsible. This is another case, sudden onset neck pain. You can see the left vertebral artery dissection. You can see the left vertebral artery dissection, though that also will come in perivertebral space. So what are the take messages? We have to look for this fascia anatomy. 2 layers: superficial deep cervical fascia, deep cervical fascia. The deep cervical fascia is further divided by 3 layers: superficial, middle, and deep. Superficial layer encircle entire as well as masticator space, and deep layer encircles the vertebra and surrounding structure, and the middle layer, so-called visceral fascia, will encircle the visceral space, and all 3 layers will come to the carotid space. Each space is having some amount of neural element. Masticator means it is V3 division of trigeminal nerve mandibular. It is parotid space means it is the 7th nerve. Carotid space means the 9th, 10th, 11th. And it is the foramen lacerum and ICA in the pharyngeal mucosal space. And always carefully look into the anatomy, look into the parapharyngeal fat. And always I will say, please look for this fat, give enough information. If the fat is pushed along the lateral aspect, means it is pharyngeal mucosal space tumor. If the fat is pushed medially, you can say the fat is pushed medially, it is from parotid space. If the fat is pushed posteriorly, that means it is from masticator space. If the fat is pushed anteriorly along with ICA pushed anteriorly, that means it is from carotid space. If the base is pushed anterolaterally means it is from either prevertebral or retropharyngeal mass pushing it, and you can see the prevertebral axis pushing the fed anterolaterally. And retropharyngeal space, it is situated between visceral fascia and alar fascia. Since it ends at D2 to D6, you can see it go to the mediastinum, where the danger space is situated between the alar fascia and the prevertebral space, go to the retroperitoneum and the pelvis. Thank you.